Okay, so Kingston University is based in southwest London. We're actually situated on 4 campuses, which are all within the Kingston area. So we have a library on each of those 4 main campuses. We have just over 20,000 students and about 2,500 staff. And we have 5 faculties teaching across a very wide range of subjects. We've had what I always say is quite a checkered history with reading lists. If we go back something like about 15 years, then we were actually early adopters of what was then Tallis List. But that was quite tricky for us. It was a product that was very much orientated towards library staff. As a result, there were challenges about getting academic staff engaged with that. And really, at the time, it didn't particularly fit with the way our teaching programmes were developing. All of our courses and modules were completely revalidated. And there was a new emphasis on how we were going to use electronic tools to support that learning, and a huge emphasis as well on active learning within the curriculum. The university is also undergoing a huge period of change at the moment. We have a whole programme called Process Review, which is looking at how we're working across the university, and we felt that actually a reading list product could actually help us now to actually improve some of our processes. And it's probably worth saying that the university's strategy, which is called Led by Learning, does actually state that we're looking to make sure both our physical and virtual learning environments are fit for purpose. So we think that a reading list product really does complement that strategy. And so we felt that moving to work with Ex Libris on developing the reading list product, called List to Read in the early days, now Leganto as we know it, was very good timing for us. For us, when we moved to Ex Libris suite of products coming up for 5 years ago now, part of our strategy was actually to ensure that our systems were very joined up. We were at that stage juggling lots of different pieces of software that all had to be sort of knitted together, and we were finding that it was taking so much time and effort and really giving our students quite a poor experience. So part of the attraction of Leganto for us is the fact that it will fit in very neatly and automatically integrate with Alma and Primo. Okay, well I think you've got that absolutely in the right order there, in the sense that students come first. I think the example I'm going to give is something that many librarians will identify with. It's the age-old problem of the student who, particularly say the first year student arriving, trying to find items on their reading list, think they're doing the right thing, or trying to do the right thing in using the library catalogue, can't find what they're looking for. And then it's actually quite embarrassing for library staff when we then try and help them out, and actually we realise that the reason they can't find something is because we don't have it. And so somewhere down the line, our communications have broken down with the member of teaching staff who's perhaps decided to make a last-minute change to a list, suddenly do an update without realising they haven't alerted us along the way, or making an assumption that we've got something. So what we're really hoping is to improve the student experience by being more joined up in our own processes and in how we actually use the product with both ourselves as library staff and with our academics. So I think another key thing with Leganto is that really the process starts with the academic. So if they are building their reading list in the tool itself, cross-checking with our catalogue, with other resources, if that is then coming into the library as a process where librarians can actually then check the reading list and then actually trigger orders and activations where required, then actually we're starting to be much more joined up, and hopefully what the student will see at the other end is a reading list, or resource list, because I think I should emphasise that our students don't just get books and journals on those lists, but that will be a list that actually really reflects what it is they need. Well, I think I mentioned earlier that we brought in a new academic framework which has active learning very much at the heart of it. We also had related to that an emphasis on embracing new technologies within that, so I think Leganto fits very well with that. In terms of active learning, we want students to be not just being spoon-fed by reading lists. We want those reading lists to really prompt them then to go off and read widely, or view widely, or listen widely, whatever it might be that's appropriate to their particular discipline. I think it's quite an important thing for library staff who are going to be working with Leganto to realise that actually it is a learning and teaching tool, almost more in some respects than it is a library tool. So we are very much going to be making sure the student starts from the virtual learning environment in discovering their reading list and the resources on it, rather than sending them to something that's a completely separate experience. So that embedding in the VLE is really important to us, and I think really does complement the strategy. What we would really, really like is to end up with a seamless process from the moment the academic adds something to their reading list that we know things are being cross-checked, on Primo, for example. But if it's new, that actually that triggers an alert for us, and that the whole process is then sufficiently integrated with the Alma acquisitions process that we can then just trigger an order. And then once the item is receipted or activated, that it would then automatically just appear then as live in the reading list, and that would become a very seamless process. Obviously it's a key change for the staff working in our subject teams. They're absolutely key to that academic engagement and that rollout over the coming year. So I anticipate that they're going to spend a lot of time going out meeting academic staff, and ensuring that those staff feel confident in using Leganto and can see the advantages of using it. And I think we'll see a greater impact on our sort of collections staff who do all our acquisitions work. And we're looking to be able to actually do some very seamless, joined up acquisitions from the moment the member of teaching staff actually requests something, through to us triggering orders, through to things being activated on the Leganto list at the end of the process. I think the really important bit is being about a player in the teaching and learning space, because libraries absolutely underpin the whole academic endeavour.